Thank you for waiting. Jesus, Schnoodz, show some patience, hon. Huh? Huh? This is your roast rate today. Also, high throttle. Welcome in. But yeah, we do the ads while you guys are waiting. That way it doesn't have to do anything. Always make sure I clean that. Alright. So I've got it all prepped. I'm ready to go. Honestly, based off never, that's the most true thing ever. So yeah. Honestly, I'm feeling kind of confident about this. But because it even has a bean hat on today. My bean hat. The hat I wear in the beans. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to look at that logo, the NFL logo, or you mean the No Normal TM? What did I do to prep it? It's literally just a goo. Um, they recommend a teaspoon for every. I think it was like 3.5. They recommend a teaspoon for every 3.5 ounces. So I use my 20-ounce cup. I use my 20-ounce cup. So for it's now figure tell me this, all right? It says 1 teaspoon for 3.5 ounces, 1.5 teaspoon for 8 ounces. How does that math? It doesn't. Like so half of 3.5 would be yes, I measured on because I knew you would be yelling at me all the thing. I didn't. Maybe there. But did I taste the paste? No. I wanted a fresh reaction. Guys. But comes in a tube. No normal. Outdoor coffee. Wheat black. Swiss made. Um we will see how this works. Don't yell. I'm going to yell, ma'am. You yell at me every time you see me. Every time you see me. Hey, pump. That does not work on this screen, fortunately, buddy. But this is designed for like camping, um, all sorts of things like that. It is a nice tar-like paste. It's really interesting. This is my whisper. That is very true. Very true. Um, but it didn't come off of the measuring cup very well. However, once I think if you wet the measuring cup, it'll work a lot better. Oh, that was not the right lid. Oh no. Are you showing everyone your coffee flavored lube? No, this is outdoor coffee. It's designed for like camping and stuff. You take it out with you, and then all you gotta do is you just get boil water, and then you can mix it. I think it would have come off a lot better from the measuring cup if I had lubed, if I had like dipped it in the hot water first. Just because after I like mix it around to get it to come off of the measuring or measuring spoon, it came off a lot easier after that. Needs more lube. I mean, look, I'm saying I'm follow the only thing that scares me is I'm like I know we were using a frother, but I'm having flashbacks from all the foam from from all of the guessing you should have stirred it in. Well, no, I mean, frothing's gonna do what frothing does. I, I'll be right back. I gotta get the right lid for that, otherwise I'm gonna make a mess. 1 second. Yeah, I just didn't. Just calm your tits, woman. Calm your avocado. Okay? Calm down. What if fingers want to know number? But that's what you're looking at. It seems very. It seems very. It seems very interesting. Almost home. I can't. I'm sure it's fine. It reminds me of like some kind of. It reminds me of some kind of like it almost makes me think of like instant coffee, just because of how cloudy it is. Um, the smell, the smell doesn't seem too terribly bad. I am getting looking at it being poured. I'm less enthusiastic about it. Um, because you got to build up to it. You know, you can't just cloudy with a chance of okay. Yeah, that's what it's. That's all right. Well, let's go. Okay, well, it's not terrible. Um, it's not terrible. It is. It's rather sweet. Um, naturally because they do put sugar in with it. Lightly sweetened with organic Swiss beet sugar. Uh it's it's very it very much reminds me of instant coffee, but the sweetness is it's an experience. Um it remind the I think I would have I'd be interested to see what the non-sweetened one would be like, because especially when you get into these like organic sweeteners and stuff. I guess technically like beet sugar should be organic too, shouldn't it? All I can think of is like the sweetener we had um with the mud water. That's all I can think of. I would say in a pinch, you know, it wouldn't be that bad. Um, there's definitely a learning, not a learning curve, but there's probably definitely a getting used to it kind of deal. Um, it does claim to have 45 milligrams of caffeine per serving, so we technically have four servings in here. So 45. So it's 180. Um, it's 180 milligrams of caffeine, which is pretty high, I would say, for my 20-ounce cup, which is, you know, a fantastic thing. Thank you for the hydrate pump. Oh, I did forget to get water. But all in all, the taste isn't terrible. It's just weird. Um, I could probably go without the sweetness. Um, but again, if you're like out camping and stuff, I could see this being, and you don't have a percolator, I could see this at least being an okay substitute to keep you from, you know, to give you that little pick me up in the morning. Just, boil your water, pour it in, and then throw in some paste and stuff, and then mix it up. And I'm sure it would be like acceptable as an alternative to like your normal coffee, but when you can have a a percolator, you know what I mean, which doesn't take up near as much room. I just feel like this is something that was made that doesn't need to be made kind of feel. Um just cuz I've gone camping a lot in my life, and coffee was never terrible, or not terrible, was never terribly hard to make on the campsites. Um I guess maybe if you don't have access to, yeah, but if you don't have access to a heat source, you can't heat the water. And I mean, I guess you could probably eat the haste. Look, I don't do it for free, Throttle. All right. If you guys are gonna do it, you guys are gonna have to pay for it. All right. Always have heat source. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like on the maybe on the go, but even then, you've gotta have you've gotta have heat in order to get your water boiling. And if you're gonna already have that aspect of it, why aren't you just bringing a percolator and making coffee the normal way? Hmm. Oh, huh. Yeah, but that's not gonna that's not gonna heat coffee though, Throttle. I gotta say, it's not as bad as I thought it might be. Like I was pretty optimistic at the beginning, um, but then seeing it poured and looking at it, I wasn't too optimistic. But coming back around, I feel like Schnoodz has definitely had me drink worse things. Uh I know. So the way that my rating system works, Throttle, is you 5 is pretty much baseline, what I consider my Maxwell house. Right. So if this is interchangeable with uh my everyday coffee, if I feel like, I could drink it every day and I would get no more less enjoyment or dissatisfaction than I would um with my Maxwell house, I give it a 5, and then I go up and down from there. This I'm probably gonna make a 3. It is, so it's a rig system. Got it. I mean, I wouldn't say rig. I mean, it's my opinion, so it's not. I feel like this would work in a pinch if you have no other options. Um, but I guess maybe I okay. So if space is a thing, and because I didn't think about coffee grounds um taking up as much space, because this tube just it takes up no space. I could see that being a thing. They tried something new in that school. I mean, is any coffee flavor? So the only coffee flavoring I get out of it, Nelly, is there's a little bit of, like, it almost reminds me of instant coffee. Like if you were to tell me that there was uh actual like coffee, but when you've got a paste like this, there's no way that they have real coffee in it. You know what I mean? Um yeah, it's coffee extract, coffee powder. Uh so that it's not, is there any grittiness? No, it's all smooth. It's not. There was, granted, I was using again a frother. Um so therefore, it's a little bit, it was a little bit frothy when it came out. Um But all in all, it's not terrible. I just wouldn't want it. Um, I just wouldn't want it every day. It's it would definitely be if I had nothing else, I'd probably I would go to it to avert headaches and post or anti. All right, you got a bean sized spread of it, but that's what it looks like. It's very thick. Like it doesn't like I didn't push it on the spoon or anything, and that bitch don't move. That bitch don't move. It is it is interesting. It smells more like coffee than Luke. The number does not exist. It smells more like coffee than when it's mixed in the water, but I can only imagine. So without further ado, I give to you the bean eating of this base. Mm. So it's it's oh, it's really sweet. Um, that it's yeah, it's really sweet. Um, but I will stick to my coffee beans. That's an experience. No, that's probably my cold sore. It's it's not good. But I also think it's because I had an ass ton of it there. You know what I mean? Like then have I can see as a spread that it will probably be better than a whole glop of it on a spoon. I mean, I finished it. I look, you're clean. Look, you can see your reflection in that, baby. But yeah, no, I'm not doing that for free. No, it's just it was a lot. It was very intense. It was very intense. We'll see how it goes. You know what's really funny is how is how watered down that tastes after the you should have stuck out your tongue for that. No, look, I don't need I don't need a picture of me and my tongue sticking out there on the internet. But it's amazing how watered down that tastes after you after you drink the concentrate stuff. But as always, and I forgot, and I'm so sorry. The biggest of shout outs to Schnoodle. Guys, if you guys aren't following Schnoodle, do yourselves a favor, check her out. She's a lovely little lady. She's been a friend of mine for a very long time. Um, and somebody that I am forever somewhat grateful to have in my life. Um, it was um, it's been a pleasure knowing you, hun, and I do appreciate all the love and support you give me. And we love giving and support back to you, hun. But that is your roast rate, 3 out of 10. Um, wouldn't suggest if you can get anything other than it for camping. There's just so much better things out there than a sweet paste that will um leave you wanting more. But